Hi guys, I'm waiting to go get my nose pierced. And while I've been waiting for my mom to get home to pick me up and take me, I was watching one of Jacksepticeye's YouTube videos, the one from 11 months ago, where he was Googling himself with the wheel that his editor Trey made. And like literally the exact first one that comes up was about, dare I mention it again, because I haven't mentioned that word since middle school, and it was such a cringe fest, but septiplier was the first thing that came up. And if you don't know what septiplier was, it's the shipping, like romantical pairing between YouTuber Markiplier and Jacksepticeye himself. And back in like 2016 and 2017, that was like a really big thing. And I happened to be in like 6th or 7th grade at that time. And I was also very closeted LGBTQ, which at the time I had identified as a gender, not the one I identify as now, my birth gender, being a girl. It's a story I'm not gonna get into. I was very closeted, and so I would what's the word? I would cope, and I would ship people, specifically gay people, gay stuff, right? LGBTQ, you know, that stuff. Oh my god, can my dog stop barking? I'm literally just talking to myself here. Sorry. But, and unfortunately, I took part in that whole septiplier thing back in 2016, 2017. I took part in that, and it may have ended up going on for longer, because, like, you know, back then, YouTubers would, like, ignore it, try their best to ignore it, because I remember, I never watched Dan and Phil at the time, but it was pretty big with the whole shipping thing with their fans too, between Dan and Phil, which caused them to be uncomfortable about them, and for them to have actually been dating behind the scenes, that kind of thing, which I think it was Dan said that. I don't know, but yeah, so it was like this very normalized thing, unfortunately. And as I've grown, obviously that's bad now. Don't ship real people, that's disgusting. Don't, you know, like, obviously, I think, is Mark still with Amy? I think Mark is with Amy, and Sean, Jack, has Evelyn, right? Yeah. And unfortunately, I didn't stop shipping people until 2020, because when I got into K-pop, like BTS specifically, my first thought was, oh, I'll join Stan Twitter, because that's how you make friends, right? No. And so there I continued the shipping people thing. Like, I would ship Jungkook and Jimin together and stuff like that, and it was really bad. I regret doing all of that, because it's so not okay. And obviously I've changed. I've stopped doing such a thing, which people do change. And I was looking at one of the comments on the Jacksepticeye video that I was watching, and someone was like, God, I can't believe we were like that. Why did we ship them? And they were saying, like, we, as, like, generalizing everyone who did, because it was probably, like, a big portion of that community, right? And then everyone in the replies was saying, who's we? Like, trying to make them look bad. In a kind of way, right? Like, trying to out them out as, like, no, it was only you. When, come on, like, let's be for real. Like, I know that it's a shameful thing to admit that we've done, but a lot of us did it. I know we don't do it now, that we want to forget about it, but a lot of us did it. Like, and they're not talking about you specifically, as in, why did we do that? Like, who's we? Like, they're not specifically talking about you, people in that reply section. It's talking about we It's a generalization of a lot of the people who did. And from what I remember, it was like a lot of people. Like me and my best friend both participated in such a thing. And it was like, so obviously shipping real people had become normalized. And obviously I've stopped doing that and just stuck to shipping fictional characters as long as they're of age, seemed canon, or reasonably, you know, like with headcanons and things like that kind of thing. You know, fictional characters, cartoon characters, right? Right. But yeah. It was a very real thing, and I wish like we could all just go back in time and kept ourselves from doing such a thing. Because friends are allowed to be close. We shouldn't have jumped to such conclusions as, oh my god, they're so cute together, they should date, or oh my god, are they secretly dating because they did this, they did that. Like, for example, another thing, like, you guys remember the Septiplier Away song? I had all the words memorized to that all the time, but I also thought it was just a genuinely catchy song, even if it was supposed to be a joke. But at the same time, Robert IDK, like the guy who made the song, why didn't he ever get canceled for it? Like, I figured he would have, because like years later when people were realizing like, oh, shipping real people is bad, we shouldn't have done that, people shouldn't do that. But the joke song is allowed to be up there as a joke. Like, if it was a joke, why, when people were very much shipping them for real and were very much making the two of them uncomfortable, which they have mentioned, which is why they have separated their ways from each other for a while, right? Like, yeah, come on. Like, wouldn't there have been some kind of controversy with Robert IDK making that song and keeping it up, never saying anything on it, never taking it down, you know? But yeah, that's all I have to say, unfortunately. I wish I had more. But like, why? But yeah, bye.